And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're literally just neck and neck to 300,000. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment. Love the comments, helps to make me better. I get to understand what you're looking for and share with one friend. One friend, we will be over that 500,000 number. Now, look, why am I asking us to do this? To build a community, to make sure that we are able to have our voices heard as a large group of people, because the insanity, it's not stopping. And I'll give you an example. Trump and DOGE, they're planning on cutting more than 83,000 jobs from the Department of Veteran Affairs. I mean, this is so messed up on so many levels, it's hard to even comprehend. And I want to show you a clip from Political Beatdown the other day where my co-host, Ben Meiselas, and I, where we discussed this topic, all right? But first I want to add some context. It's important, right? Last week, as an example, during a town hall in Wyoming, Representative Hageman, he got booed at a town hall for literally discussing VA cuts and why she thinks that they're good and that Elon Musk is doing a gret job. Play that clip.
To get into the long run, and then as far as the VA, what is being done with the VA is they are looking at a cut of 15% of the workforce from 471,000 to 398,000, which takes it back to 2019 levels. Citing the Government Accountability Office or the GAO.
You know, what bothers me the most is she's just reading off of the Trump memo sheet on things that they need to say. All right. It's bringing us back to 2019 levels. Okay. We have more veterans today than we have in 2019. Why are you cutting it when it didn't even work properly in 2019? That's the point that doesn't make sense. Read the crowd. Understand that your constituents, despite what this Trump administration wants to tell you, that these are paid actors, that these are just a bunch of Democrats that are going in there to disrupt Republican town halls, lies, and more lies. All right? They are angry. People are angry, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or independent. These people have family members who are veterans, who are using the services that are now going to be limited in terms of the access and the service that they're going to get based upon these cuts. All right? And all for what? All for the name of cutting, spending, cutting in order to try to get to that $2 trillion number that Trump had promised. Now, I want to show you a clip of Bernie Sanders talking about these extremely unfair layoffs. Play the clip.
Do you think arbitrarily laying off 2,500 workers and planning to lay off another 83,000 is a detailed and thoughtful review? The veterans of foreign wars just stated the other day, and I quote part of what their statement was, "We now call upon VA to reconsider its planned reduction of 83,000 employees and thoroughly review any proposed cuts prior to rolling out further announcement like this," end quote. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to introduce a resolution supporting the VFW. I would hope that you can support that. All that they are saying, which makes common sense to me. You want to make the VA more efficient? Let's do it. You're right. Is there a bureaucracy? Yep. Let's deal with that. But do it in an intelligent, planned way with the cooperation of the veterans organizations who are on the ground. Who better can come to tell you that you have people who are not working well? All right? But to arbitrarily say, hey, we're going to lay off 83,000 people, that makes sense to nobody.
He's right. He's right. My God, I wish Bernie was 30 years younger, I'll tell you that. Now, look, in my video yesterday, I spoke about how we as a country, how we should be so happy because Trump is happy. And why is he happy? Because he's out golfing. And I want to show you an article from The Guardian talking about the hypocrisy of DOGE cutting fraud and waste and abuse and 83,000 jobs from the VA, while Trump is out there spending loads of money, our tax dollars, on himself. Let me show you what The Guardian says. In it, it turns around and it says, while Trump slashes jobs, his golf trips are costing taxpayers millions. Next, it turns around and it says, this weekend, Trump made his 7th visit to Florida and his 6th to his waterfront mansion and private golf club at Mar-a-Lago. By the way, it's not his private mansion, all right? And it's not, it's not on the waterfront, it's on the bay. And the front of it is, I don't know, about a quarter of a mile away from the water, but nevertheless, all right? At his private club at Mar-a-Lago since his inauguration on the 20th of January. As Richard Luscombe noted in The Guardian last week, Trump's frequent trips to his own properties not only cost taxpayer funds, but they benefit him directly. His businesses have charged the United States government to house Secret Service agents and other White House staff. In other words, American taxpayers pay the Trump Organization for the right to protect Trump and his family. Further, they go on to say, you can't make this stuff up. The cost to U.S. taxpayers for Trump's jaunts to Mar-a-Lago, which he calls his winter White House, far exceeds renting rooms from the president's security entourage. A 2019 report by the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, which examined 4 trips that Trump took to his Palm Beach resort during his first term, put the total cost at $13.6 million, or about $3.4 million for each visit. Now that includes flying Air Force One, along with a separate cargo plane that carries the presidential motorcade between Washington and the Palm Beach International Airport. With 7 trips so far into his current term, the United States government has likely spent more than $23 million on Trump's golf outings. Finally, during Trump's first term, his properties had a history of overcharging the Secret Service by as much as, you can't make this shit up, 300% beyond the authorized government hotel rates, according to a report that was issued by Democrats in Congress last year. The report found that the Trump Organization charged the Secret Service as much as $1,815 a room per night to stay at the Trump International Hotel in D.C., billing the United States government significantly more than the hotel did for rooms rented by the Qatari royal family and Chinese business interests. You can't make this stuff up. This is absolutely insane. So not only are we paying to protect him, we're paying the Trump Organization for the people to protect him, and we're paying right now over $4 million for each and every round of golf that Donald Trump chooses in Florida. But for this, my friends, we should be happy. We should be happy that Donald's happy. We should be happy that he's not in D.C. signing executive orders, though he could sign the executive orders from what he terms as the winter White House. All of this is discussed between Ben and I on our political beatdown show. Play the clip.
Let me share this with you as well. This is the Veterans Affairs Secretary, Doug Collins. He was asked about veterans losing their jobs in the Trump administration and how the Trump regime is, very much targeting the veteran community, almost disproportionately. A lot of veterans work in the government. So this guy is supposed to represent the interests of the veterans, right? He's supposed to be their defender and say, hey, don't fire the veterans. But what he goes is, everyone loses their job. So whatever, just find one in the private sector. Here's what he says. Let's play it.
Look, it's difficult. I've been fired. I've been let go. You have to make adjustments and you have to make changes. But the organization that they made, for whatever reason, the organization made that term for me or for anybody else. So we're always going to be there to help them find jobs, get the counseling, get their health care, get whatever they need as we go through this change. Look at what your skill set is. Look at what you've been, you had from the military. Look at the background. There are people out there who need people to work in high performing jobs. They need high performers. Veterans are high performers. They're some of the best people that I know because I've worked with them for 23 years in the Air Force and 2 years in the Navy. So this is a time maybe is an opportunity to find a different focus, a different career.
So at what age is he talking to? He's talking to people as if everybody that's losing their job is in their 20s. All right. That's exactly what's happening there. All right. And I understand that you were fired from your job because you're a fucking moron. All right. Goddamn moron. And you sit there and you say to yourself, at what age? What about people who are 50 years old? They were career government civil servants. And now you're going to tell somebody the age of 50, that's okay. That's okay. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You could find a whole new career, a whole new profession. Right? Maybe go back to school. Of course, you can't afford it, but maybe go back to school. Maybe go do something. I was fired once. And so you know what I decided to do? I decided to become a fucking congressman. I mean, that's the sort of horse shit that we're hearing from the GOP. In fact, this fucking guy is so on my nerves. When I saw that clip on him, it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. I want to jump through the screen and scream at him. But instead of screaming at him, I'm just going to give that motherfucker the 2-finger salute. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot to the extreme. People don't just get up at the age of 50 or 40s and say, oh my God, you know what? I was just fired from my job. Now I'm going to go find another one in the private sector. Sure, because when you unload 2 million fucking people into the workforce, sure, come on, come all, right? We're hiring everybody. Where are you going to work? Where are you going to work when even the biggest employers out there, whether it's the Walmarts, the Costco's, they're not hiring. They're laying people off too. So you're competing with the entire market. And why are people being laid off at the Costco's, the Walmarts, and so on? Because of tariffs. Yeah, easy for you to say, you asshole, because you're on the government pay. And these people are the ones that put you there. And you're telling the same people that put you into that job, you're telling them, go find another career, a new profession? Man, fuck you. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.